Why were you trying to contact me?
You oppose the heretics, those that took the old machines as gods.
All kinds of organics fought Sovereign and his Geth allies. Why am I so interesting?
You were the most successful. You killed their god. You succeeded where others did not. Your code is superior.
Welcome to Superior Code, my solo podcast. I got this gamer tag from Cozy K's YouTube channel. She said she made this with a friend, Vextendo on YouTube. So I'll put a link in the description to the video where I got this from. And her channel's really cute and relaxing. She recommends a lot of cozy games, mainly on the Switch, but there's a lot from PC and mobile games as well. The first question is, what is your gamer tag? Mine is Vidal Reyes. Vidal was like my favorite female character in DBZ when I was little. I just really liked seeing a strong female human character. And Reyes is my last name. I just made up this username when I was 14, so there's the creativity. The second question is, how long have you been gaming? Since I got the Sega, when I was 4 or 5, but like I don't know if that counts because do kids at that age even know what they're doing? I remember being really bad at it, getting frustrated and just passing the controller on to my dad to see how he does it. So maybe more when I got Spyro the Dragon for PlayStation. I was 8. I'm 32 now. I remember being so excited about this game because it just blew my mind with how the graphics looked, how it let me like move around in any direction, and I was just so used. Just so used to like side scrollers and being limited in that way, Sonic and fighting games and like Pac-Man and stuff like that. So Spyro really blew my mind as a child. So that was my favorite game for many years. And it actually spoiled me with how other games would look like, to where if they didn't look exactly like they did on their box art, I was upset. I was upset to see like, oh, I could see these characters in full detail on the box, and then when I plug in the game, it's all pixelated. I got so annoyed. But I'm glad I don't have to worry about that now. Like, games look exactly like they do on the box art. Question 3 is, how did your gaming journey start? When my dad got Tomb Raider, like, that, I remember that being such an important part of my life, not just for like gaming, but just like a bonding experience with me and my dad, and how today it's so popular to just go on Twitch or on YouTube and watch people play video games. So that was like my first experience, because I wasn't good at the game. I was 6 and I was scared of Tomb Raider because of the dinosaurs, and the wolves and the enemies and everything, and it was just really important to me to see a main, strong female character that you could play as. That was like, it meant a lot to me. And I know it's slim pickings because like that game was totally made for men. But as a little girl, I didn't notice the sexism or anything like that. So it was really important, and I enjoyed that time watching like this cool badass girl just kill all of these animals and enemies. But then when I got Spyro and I just started playing games myself, and Crash Bandicoot, Pokemon Red. So, and then later on in the years I became close with one of my cousins. We both loved horror games, and more specifically point and click mystery creepy games. So that was like really important to me too during middle school, just to have someone to talk about video games with, because none of my friends at school, which at that age I only became friends with females, none of them were like into video games. So it was just really important to me to have like my cousin and talk about video games, specifically horror stuff, which a lot of my female friends did not like that either. But yeah, that's how it started. The fourth question is, what is the first game you remember playing? Sonic on the Sega for sure. I was bad at it. I think like when I got older and I was into games and playing them for myself and got better at them, I replayed Sonic on the Sega with my cousins, and we would all take turns, and like, you know, whoever died would pass the controller on to the next person, and I remember that being really fun. So yeah, that one. Question 5 is, what is your favorite console to play on and why? The PS5, hands down. Like, as soon as I got this, I hardly played any other console that I own. Just obviously the graphics, but like the biggest thing is the loading times. It's so fast. I played Resident Evil 8, and every time I either died or just went on to like another part of the map, it just boom, put me in. No loading screens at all. And I was shocked to see that loading screens do exist when I watched someone on PC play it. And this is someone with like a good PC, and it gave them a loading screen. So I don't know what that's about. But that just made me even more impressed with the PS5. So yeah. I've always stuck with the PlayStation ever since like the PS2 that I got, and my parents just gave my brother the Nintendo GameCube, so ever since then he's stuck with Nintendo. So it's just from that, because it's not like I was avoiding the other consoles or like avoiding PC gaming or anything. It's just I'm too poor and I gotta just stick with the games that I love. So if there's a series that I liked and like the sequel comes out on like a PS3 or the PS4, I'm gonna stick with the PlayStation to play those sequels. So yeah, that's just how it went. If I wasn't poor, I would play all of the consoles and check out all the games. Question 6 is, what would you call your gaming style? I guess completionist. I need to collect every item, do all side quests, explore for loot I don't even need. Like, I could be maxed out and I'll still like try to search every corner and just explore the world. Just very anti-speedrun. I'm not like quick to like beat the game. I actually get a little sad when I feel like I'm nearing the end. I exhaust all dialogue. If I really like a series, I want to see and get to know everything they put into the game and their characters. So question 7 is, do you prefer long sessions or short sessions? Long sessions. Like, I cannot be bothered with just playing a game for like 30 minutes and then putting it down. If I do that, then I'm not in the mood for video games. I'm in a bad mood or something. Because when I get a message from a friend, I'll reply back. But if they reply back right away, like, oh, this is a chat, like, I'm sorry, I'll reply in an hour or two. I can't play a game by pausing, putting the controller down, pausing, putting the controller down every 2 minutes. I can't. So I don't like to be interrupted when I game. And sometimes it would get unhealthy to where I won't eat for so long. Like, I'll play like 8 to 10 hours, and like, because I just don't want to stop. Like, I'm that into the game that I'll just get up and like have a glass of orange juice or like a slice of bread just to get right back into playing, just to stop like my stomach from hurting. But I did better. Like, I'm doing a lot better now, and where I'll force myself to just turn off the game for an hour and have a full meal anytime I'm hungry. So I've been good on that and been doing that. And then I would have like vivid dreams of the game I was playing. Like, it'd be so vivid, like I was in the game like as the character, or sometimes it's a dream of me playing the game, sitting there playing it. Does anyone else have like those vivid dreams, like when you're obsessed with something, even like when it's a show or a movie? I'll have dreams about the characters and like the show or the episode I just watched. So I'll have that. That's when I know, like, oh, I'm obsessed with this game. If I have those vivid dreams, like, as soon as I wake up, I just want to hurry and turn the game on and play it. Question 8 is, what games haven't you tried but want to? Red Dead Redemption. I heard a lot of good things about it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Her Story, another one where it's like, I've heard such good things about it, but they've been very vague. So like Red Dead Redemption, I have an idea why it's fun, but Her Story, I don't, other than it's a good story. But because it's not an adventure game, it's like a point and click mystery one, so I'm interested to see what the hype is for that. And Halo, like, I've always wanted to get into the Halo series, but I don't own an Xbox or a good PC, so whenever I can get an Xbox, Halo would be one of the games where I just want to get into. And Mirror's Edge. Like, Mirror's Edge just been one of those games that I've been dodging me. I've always been interested in it, but every time I think about buying it, I end up buying a different game or something always comes up. So, question 9 is, which unreleased games are you most excited for? Dead Space 1 remake. Like, I am so excited for this remake because I love the Dead Space series. I love all 3 games, even the third one. The third one gets a lot of hate, but I still very much enjoy it. The second one's the best one because he has dialogue from like where the first one he didn't. Like, it's the stereotypical silent protagonist for no reason other than because that was like an easy way for gamers to like immerse themselves and like imagine they're in the character's shoes. But the second game just showed us it was so much better if the character was a set character and had his own opinions and his own reactions. So I'm so glad they're remaking the first game to feel more like the second and third, to where they're gonna give him some voice lines in the first game. He just won't be as talkative as he is in the other 2 games, is what they've said. And I can't wait. I can't wait to hear his reactions because replaying it, like the old game, it is a little bit weird where scary shit happens and his character just doesn't react at all to it. So I'm excited for that. And the other game I'm looking forward to is Nivalis. I think it's pronounced Nivalis. A relaxing cyberpunk simulator world. Like, I can't wait because it's usually these cozy simulator games are in the forest or like out in a cabin or something, or like in a cute little village. And this relaxing cozy game is gonna be in a cyberpunk city. I am so excited for that. It's like you can customize your room, your restaurant, nightclub area, walk around, go fishing, and do, just a relaxing game, but with a futuristic style. I'm so excited. Question 10 is, what game do you love that no one would expect? Probably The Long Dark, because I usually love games for the story. If I don't like the story, then I usually drop the game most times. But this game I keep coming back to. I've had it for a long time, but every year I find myself playing it again because it's so relaxing to like survive in like a snowy area. I still recommend playing the story mode before jumping into survival mode, which is the mode I love, because story mode is basically the tutorial. So if the game doesn't teach you how to do anything in survival mode, it just automatically assumes you know what to do. So after you play story mode, like, just speed run through it, just play the main quest, just so you could jump right into like what makes this game so fun and so relaxing is the survival mode. You could choose to be male or female in survival mode, and you can choose how easy or how hard like the survival world is. You can make it to where animals will attack you on sight, or animals will only attack if you get too close, or they always run away. Like, that's the easiest mode, is like they always run away from you no matter what. They're just scared of you. So you can totally be, you don't have to worry about being attacked. And you can make it to where it doesn't storm as often, because like if it's really stormy out, you can't really travel. You'll die of like getting cold and freezing to death, so you have to find shelter. So it's like stuff like that you can like control a bit and set the game to how you want it to be set. So I really, really enjoy it. I love this game so much. I love that the voice actors for Shepard, male and female, are in this game. So that's a plus. So yeah, I like role-playing as like a female shepherd that landed on this snowy island and just trying to survive it. There's some decoration, not really. It's actually a stretch, but whenever you drop items, you can like pick them up, rotate them, and put them on shelves and tables and stuff, and you can like decorate the place if you have like way too much food that you don't need, and you can just like place objects anywhere, and that's how you decorate. So it's like a good way to like make the place that you're staying at feel cozy and stuff. So it's been really nice seeing like screenshots from other players on Twitter and stuff to see how they organize their kitchen and everything like that. And like it has really, like, the cooking sounds so relaxing, just hearing something on the stove. So it's a really relaxing game. Question 11 is favorite game to rage quit. Bloodborne, which now that I think about it, I think Bloodborne is another game that would be unexpected that I would like, because I also don't care about the story. I'm just in it for the gameplay. But I've gone back to The Long Dark way more than Bloodborne. But anyways, Bloodborne bosses really piss me off, and strong NPC mini bosses that I'll just turn it off and just wait till the next day or something after I've cooled down. And it's the only Souls game I keep coming back to. I love the fashion, and I just love how fast my character feels in the world of Bloodborne versus the other Souls games. So, like, man, I loved Elden Ring, but Bloodborne is just so different. I just loved it. Yeah. The fashion is so much better in Bloodborne as well versus Elden Ring, which only had like 2 outfits that I liked. Anyways, that's the game. Question 12 is favorite game to replay. Mass Effect 3. Well, like the Mass Effect trilogy, but like Mass Effect 3 I've played like 19 times. Like just as female Shepard. I've started my first male Shepard playthrough, so it's about to be 20 times, and I really, really love Mass Effect 3. And I always play it a different way than the last time I've played, like always. I'm not one of those people that find it hard picking different options on my next playthrough or picking different romances. I need to see more of this game. I want to see the other options for myself. I know some players will just look it up online to see like, oh, what's this option, or what happens if you pick this option, but I just need to experience it myself. And I have no problem being mean or evil in video games, like not just Mass Effect, but like Fallout and Outer Scrolls and yeah, Dragon Age. I have no problem with picking evil options if I'm like role-playing in a different playthrough. Like I don't like start off as a nice character and then all of a sudden pick a mean option or anything like that. It's just on a different playthrough where I'm like have this mindset. I want to try out Renegade, try out the evil path. I have no problem, except when it's towards in AI or robot characters. They're my weakness. I'll do it, but I'll always hesitate before pushing the button. So, question 13 is, do you snack and drink while gaming? No snacking at all. I like to keep my fingers clean. I like to keep my controller clean. I do not like to dirty them, and I don't like to stop and put the controller down to eat something when I'm like, I just want to play this game. But I will drink, mostly something thick like milkshakes, smoothies, protein shakes, or creamy coffee just to make up for not snacking. But like I said, I've gotten better with like having my meals. So I'll stop for my meals, but I won't stop for snacking. Question 14 is solo or co-op? I've been solo gaming because I have no choice. So by default, solo gaming. And I guess it kind of works out because I love story-driven games more than like online games. But whenever I do play online with a friend, it's like the best day of the week for me. I really like it. It just sucks because none of my friends are like really, really into gaming. And even if they get into a game, it's very rare for them to play with me or to play with anyone. So whenever that rare chance comes up, it's like the best day for me. My husband sometimes plays, but he gets, he's kind of a bad sport to losing. So like even if we're on the same team and we lose, it'll just make him upset and stressed. So I usually try to play like a chill game with him, or like an easy mode game that's like violent, but on easy mode, so it is chill. And it's been really fun. I love that. I love playing with him when it's like, let's just relax. If we lose, who cares? So I have to find like that rare occasion where he's like in a really good mood that losing won't upset him. And then the other big problem is we're kind of totally into different games. He's way more into JRPGs and fighting games, while I'm not. So we kind of don't want to force each other to play a game we don't want to be into. So we usually are just solo gaming, but in the same room. So he'll be playing something on his side of the room, and then me right next to him just playing a different game, but we're together. So question 15 is favorite genre to play. Horror. Straight up horror. Like, there's not a lot of good horror games, but in the middle of playing them, I'm excited. Like, I enjoy myself. And when horror is like combined with sci-fi, it's oof, even better. Even better. Like, the one that comes to mind is Observation. I really, really love that game. You play as the AI, and it's like you have to shift between different cameras and screens to kind of help the human character. So yeah, I really like sci-fi horror a lot. And like, it's not a genre, I guess, or maybe it is, but like a type of game I like is like third-person games. So I love seeing my character and like their clothes if they have good fashion. So I really, really like third-person games way more than like first-person. But I will say, after playing Cyberpunk 2077, that game has ruined other first-person games for me, because in that game you can see the rest of your body, and you could see your hands and your nails, and you can customize your nails, you can make them long or short. So I really loved how Cyberpunk did their first person. It really felt immersive than any other first person game I've played. So I really want more first person games to do that now. But third person for the win. Question 16 is least favorite genre to play. Probably like historical and army stuff. And like the type of games would be visual novels. Visual novels just give way too much information that isn't needed, and the info is usually boring anyways. It's like, why are you telling me all this? And then like when they show like a picture, or if they show like a character or the background or something, and yet the visual novel still explains every little detail. And it's like, you don't need to explain it, I see it. You don't need to explain. I get very frustrated when it wastes my time like that. I want to like visual novels because I have found a few good ones, but that's so rare. Most of them I can't stand, so when I find rare ones I really like, one of them right now is Andromeda 6. I really love that one. So when I find a good one, I get excited because I like the style of visual novels. I just hate how the theme is always, let's tell way too much information that we don't need to. So, question 17 is late night gaming or daytime gaming? Late night gaming. I'm a night owl. Unless I'm really obsessed with a brand new game, then I'll play it day and night, but yeah, I'm more into nighttime. Question 18 is what console and game holds a special place in your heart? For the console is the PS3 because it came out in 2007, but I got it in 2008, like early 2008, and then that's the year I met my husband. But we had a long distance relationship, and I didn't meet him face to face until December 2008. And throughout that whole time, I did not know that the controller was wireless until my husband showed me and told me I didn't have to keep it plugged in. That technology was so new to me, and I didn't know like the wireless came with the controller. Like that's what happens when you don't read the manual. But yeah, that was so funny. And the game that holds a special place is Resident Evil 5 for sure. It came at such a good time where I needed an escape from college life, dealing with stressful classes and dealing with money problems, and my husband just bought it and it made us smile so much. We were living together, and we were just very upset with like bills and stuff piling over, and what made this such a big risk and made us sad because we were looking at gaming news, and we weren't the type of people to buy games on release. We always wait for a sale or a price drop. So it wasn't like a game that was like on our radar just yet. It was like, oh, we're just gonna have to wait for it to drop because it's too expensive for us. And so when he came home with it, it was such a big surprise. Like I had like, but wait, that's money that could go towards like something, and you spend it on the game. But at the same time, I really wanted the game and was just upset that everyone else was talking about it and we couldn't play it. So it was like kind of like, fuck it, we need relaxation, we need to take a break from the stress. And it was such a good escape, and we both loved it. It was a risk well took, because if we had hated it, it would have been such a waste of money and we can't return it. But he said the reason he really risked it was because we both loved all of the other Resident Evil games. So it was worth it. But yeah, I'm so glad we ended up liking it, because it was also the first like co-op game I've ever played like that. So it was just A+ co-op game. I need more like it. So I'll love that game forever for that memory. That was such a good college memory, and I'm glad he took that risk. If he wasn't around, I wouldn't have gotten it. I would have waited years or months after it became cheaper. Question 19 is, what does gaming mean to you? It's just another hobby, like a very expensive hobby, but like it's another good way of storytelling. Another form of escapism, and just another art form. The last question, 20. If you can tell someone who doesn't game one thing to convince them to start, what would it be? Well, like I said, it's a good way of storytelling. It's like one of my favorite ways, obviously, because like the big advantage games have that books, movies, and shows don't have is it gives us the control on how much information we take in or how much information we don't take in. So in games you can like read the codex, collect notes, talk to characters multiple times to exhaust that dialogue, and do side quests. So you can like continue down the path of like growing relationships with other characters when you don't have to. Or if you're the type of person that hates side quests, you just want to know what happens next with the main story, you can do that. While like in books, shows, and movies, you are stuck with as much information as possible, whether you like it or not, or as little, too little information, and it just makes you think. And it's like, if you want more information, too bad. This is how much it's giving you. So you get to control the type of story you want in video games with going beyond the main story. And I think that's like that's the big reason why I really, really love video games, because we all have like our favorite movies and our favorite shows, and we rewatch them, but there are certain parts where it's like, oh, I don't care about this part, or oh, I wish there was more of this part. So in video games, it's easier to go back and replay, like just taking like gameplay out of the equation. Just any game of story that you like, it's easy to replay if you were the completionist and want to see every information it has to offer. But when you replay it, you don't want that anymore because you already know everything. You could play it different to where you just stick to the main mission and bypass everything. So, and sometimes that makes the story a bit different, the characters a bit different. Like if you don't have, like, for example, like a friendship bar, like if it isn't filled with isn't filled for certain characters because you didn't do the side quests, sometimes the main story outcome is different than if you had done the side quest and built that friendship. Then the main story would have been different. So that's another thing where it's like you can like manipulate the story a bit to get different versions of it based on how much information you gathered. So yeah, I recommend playing video games for that reason. And like a bonus is you have so much more control in the game settings than you do in like the settings for when you're watching something, because like in horror movies where the music's just way too loud and it's just a cheap tactic to like scare you, in video games you can control the music volume, the voice volume, and the sound volume. So you can completely turn off the music and just truly see if a horror story is actually scary without the music. So that's a good way to find out what's a good horror and what isn't. Or like if you just want to be immersed and not listen to the voices, like for whatever reason, you could completely turn off the voice volume and just be immersed in like the music and the sound of the game. So yeah, thanks for listening.